Moving on to now Manoj Kumar, who's dialed in from Faridabad. Manoj, what's your question? How can we help you?
Good evening, ma'am. Actually, I have a property in Faridabad, and initially I had taken home loan from SDFC. After the sale deed executed, builder submitted the sale deed to the bank, and after it was executed in 2013, in 2014, I transferred my home loan from SDFC to State Bank. So they said, okay, after 1 month, I'll give you the papers. While we went to collect the paper, we found that my sale deed is not there. So they said, okay, you come after 2 months, we will search. Finally, they could not found. We submitted all other papers to the State Bank, and State Bank advised me, not on paper, on verbal, they advised to file an FIR through SDFC and public notice and certified true copy. SDFC did all these things after 1 year. Everything was done in 2015, mid of 2015. Then we collected all the papers from SDFC, then submitted all the papers to the State Bank. So transfer was done in February 2014, and 2016 now, State Bank is saying you submit the original sale deed or pay the entire amount. Now, SDFC is not ready to get transferred to the SDFC Bank. State Bank is saying, give me the money, and without the original sale deed, no buyer is accepting this property. What I should do?
That's a very, very difficult position to be in. What can he do, really? The sale deed is lost for no fault of his.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a very tricky kind of a situation, Manoj. But listen, you know what really happens is every time we buy a property, we are obviously registering our property. Now, there were earlier days where people would not register properties simply to avoid stamp duty because they used to have possession of it. But the whole advantage of registration is that if you actually lose your document, or let's say the house is on fire and the document gets burnt or damaged or lost for whatever reason, the registrar is the person who can issue you a duplicate copy, or what is known as a certified copy. They scan this thing and they put it. In fact, they can give you an index to, these days, at least this happens in Maharashtra, you can actually put in your property number and just download your registered scan copy of the agreement. So just check if this is already possible at the sub-registrar's place. So that is one thing. And the other things that you've done in public notice and all of that, now, obviously all that is the routine procedure that you have followed. State Bank of India will unfortunately keep following its protocol in terms of the audit guidance process note that they might be having, and which is why they are demanding the same thing again and again. So my suggestion is, instead of doing a verbal conversation, do a written communication and write it to them and say that, look, you've already got a certified copy. So why should you actually keep demanding for the original sale deed? A certified copy from the sub-registrar's office is as good as your original, and it is a completely tradable market tender. You can actually move your property. If there is any sort of mortgage or any sort of lien on your property, the registrar's records would show it. So which is why it is as good as the original, and you can absolutely use it. Should not be a problem. Please insist a written communication with SBI. I mean, that would definitely sort of help you. And otherwise, I was going to tell you to do the police complaint and the notice, but you've already done that. So you've already gone through that procedure.
Manoj, there's another thing that you can do. You, like Karthik just said, write to SBI, and if even after that you are not, you don't get a satisfactory response from them, they still turn around and ask you for these papers, then you can raise it to the ombudsman. Every bank has their own ombudsman, and if the SBI ombudsman is not able to satisfy your problem, to address your problem properly, the Reserve Bank also has an ombudsman. And I think, Karthik, you have something to add over there.
A lot of times when we say write to the bank, it's not as if you don't already know that. But a lot of times we undermine the power of the written word. Lots of times we talk to people over the phone. You might have already visited the bank 25 times maybe, and nothing really happens. But when you write a communication to somebody, that person is also obliged in some sense to write back to you. And when they have to write back to you, they are going to think 25,000 times of what they are putting on paper. Because whatever you write all becomes a part of a contract or a relationship or an exchange of communication between any two parties, and which have a lot of value and a lot of standing in the court of law. So which is why do not ever undermine, for you and for everybody, is the power of written communication. Please do write a letter, sign it, send it to them, take their acknowledgement, and you're pretty much clearing your stand. See what they have to say. They might say anything they want to on verbally or orally when you are interacting with people, but when they have to write and give, they're going to think a lot of times before they actually put something down on paper.
Which is what we keep saying on Magic Bricks now. At the end of the day, this is your home. This is your life savings. You've worked really, really hard for that home. You put in all your money over there. So whether it is a builder, whether it is a banker, whether it is a broker, whoever you're speaking with, ensure that you get things written down. Ensure that you do it in writing so that you have a record. And also, whatever you are writing to those people goes on your record, goes on the record that you are of, the relationship that you have with them as customers. That will stand you in good stead just in case things do get go from bad to worse.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.